our sports information director, and he does such a great job. We've had several, over the years, and he's certainly been the best we've ever had, and is an ace, and we're thankful for him. Welcome to, this I think is my 17th press conference, and as many of you know, there's lots of polls and lots of rankings out there. But I started doing something this year. I'll let Parrish and some of the guys that have been here for a long time, Jeff Robertson, Chuck, that probably been here as long as I have in these press conferences. I started ranking the reporters. Okay, every week I'm going to start a poll. This week, Chase Parham. All right, you're ranked number 1 in the reporters poll. For your great article this morning. So I appreciate you finding a picture with me with hair and everything. So that was nice, and we appreciate it. But anyway, welcome. Thank you for being here. Obviously, I'm very excited, as the players are, and all the coaches, to start another season. Players have been hard at work for the last 6 months, since early, or I guess even late August. And as many of you know, and it's been written about, we welcomed the number 1 ranked recruiting class in this fall, and they haven't disappointed. They've been tremendous. The transition has been really smooth on and off the field, and I'm really proud of those guys. And but just as proud for our upperclassmen, and the way they've handled themselves. And 3 of them are here today: Colby, Will, and Tate, that you'll get to speak to. I think part of the transition for the younger guys is the leadership that the older guys have shown. And although there's only 8, which I was astonished when I really looked at the roster back in August, that we have 8 juniors and seniors, and so that's 28 freshmen and sophomores on this team. But all of the 8 upperclassmen have all already impacted the program. They're all players. They're all guys that have played significant roles. And I don't know if I've ever had that, where all your older guys are guys that contribute on the mound and in the field every single day. And I think that's part of the reason that they've shown that great leadership, and they've been there before. And certainly when we talk about those young guys, which I'll mention in a second by name, I think it's made their transition easier, and where there's no doubt that they'll play big roles as well, those freshmen, in our success this year. Probably the most anticipated, I guess, thing, I didn't know if I'd talk about the pitchers or the position players first, but I figured the rotation, which has probably been talking to you guys at practice and whatnot, probably the biggest question mark for me, to this point. Friday night we'll start David Parkinson. On Saturday we'll start James MacArthur, and on Sunday we'll start Brady Feigl. And the reason it's been difficult to kind of figure out is because of the competition. I don't know if we've ever had a year where we've had so many, I think, guys that could do it. Not only those 3 guys that I've mentioned, but true freshmen Greer Holston, Ryan Rollison, another true freshman, and Will Etheridge. I think we're the 6 guys that were really candidates to start Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for us. But chose those guys because they give us the best shot to succeed. I think after looking at everything over the last 6 months and watching the way they've handled themselves, what they've done in the past, and certainly what they've done in the last few weeks, I think they give us our best shot to succeed against East Carolina. Along with those guys, so Ryan Rollison and Greer and Will Etheridge, they'll start off in the bullpen with what I consider another outstanding bullpen. As many of you know, much of our success, I think, last year was due to a very strong bullpen. This year, again, Andy Pagnazzi's back in the bullpen, freshman All-American. Connor Green, who had over 20 appearances, I believe, last year as a true freshman, is back in the bullpen with Dallas Woolfolk, who I believe led the team in ERA last year. And for Parrish, the closer this year looks to be Will Stokes. And so another really strong, I think, pitching staff, and not only on the back end in the bullpen, but I think the starters as well. As far as the position players going around the horn at third base, Colby Bortles will start at third base. True freshman at shortstop, Gray Kessinger. At second base, preseason All-American, Tate Blackman. At first base, you'll probably see several guys, from Cole Zabowski, a freshman, Chase Cockrell, a junior college transfer from Hines Community College, and of course Mike Fitzsimmons, that was with us last year, had an outstanding freshman year. Behind the plate, Cooper Johnson, another true freshman, looks to be the starter, but another guy that's caught and will catch the first weekend, as well as a guy named Nick Fortes, who caught for us last year, as a true freshman. And Nick's really played well, especially since we've gotten back this year. I think he's caught more like the catcher that we thought he would be, coming out of high school, and has had, I think, an excellent, sophomore campaign. In the outfield, left field, looks like we'll start Thomas Dillard. Thomas is another true freshman. Thomas is also a catcher, and I think also be in the mix, to catch, but his offensive prowess, just his big bat, I think that'll fit well in the middle of the lineup, a switch hitter. He'll start opening day in left field. And center field, Ryan Olenek. Ryan is a converted infielder now in the outfield, but really could play any position on the field. So athletic, as many of you know, and can play anywhere, but really has improved in the outfield and has all the tools, I think, to be a great center fielder for us. In right field, Will Golson. Will starts as a junior in right field, his third position. As you know, he started as a freshman at second base, a sophomore at first base, and this may be his true position. So the coaches maybe finally figured that out. He's a great athlete that has all the tools to be a great outfielder, and I think we've seen that over the last 6 months, the way he's taken to it, where shows more of his athleticism. He can really run. He's got a great arm, and excited for him to be out there. Another position player that you'll see a lot, I think, in a lot of different positions is Kyle Watson. Kyle could play the outfield, could play center field, could play shortstop. There's not many guys that can play a premium defensive position and start just about anywhere on the field. And certainly he'll get that opportunity, as the first weekend gets here. So